the Morning Rush on 98.7 Kiss Country.
Well, it's warming up a little bit, 59. Got some fog, so be careful. Make sure you turn your headlights on. If you have the automatic lights, they don't always go on. Just kind of depends on what kind of vehicle you got and how sensitive your light is in your vehicle. Right, Pete?
That is great advice, Jay. We always talk about that too in the winter, especially like if you got blowing snow in the afternoon and it can be sunny and visibility is not the best and those lights don't come on. And that's one of the big things our plow drivers always say, and it goes the same for a day like this, is turn those headlights on because the automatic ones do not always kick in.
Right. So it might be a little heavier in certain spots. It's a little hazy downtown. So it's not because you came off of Labor Day that you're a little hazy, but
yeah, well, for some of us, for some people, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. You know, with the big long Labor Day weekend, were the crews out working a little bit this weekend or no?
No, they usually get them off the roads on the Friday before.
Okay.
So with all the heavy travel now, it all depends. It's project specific. If there are places where the road is closed, obviously, for an example, down by Sheffield, where that bridge project is, it's not going to matter if people are working there or not because there's no traffic going through there. So, and if there's a project that maybe is a little bit behind, sometimes we'll allow contractors to work as well too. But this year, right now, anyway, we're sitting in pretty good shape. So that's good news.
So that's all we got for a report for the road conditions.
Yep, we're done.
Oh, okay. All right.
No, we're not. Stop it. Good news is Iowa 9 over I-35. They actually came in last week and did some work a little bit earlier than expected. So hopefully they can get the painting done this week and get that bridge open. So that'll be good news. Then just a reminder that shortly after they're done with that bridge, it will probably be next week. Don't know for sure yet. They will be doing the same type of project on Iowa 9 just east of Manley. So that there will be down to one lane road. So just we'll update you as we know more, but that is still coming this year. The bridge down at Sheffield, they did the deck pour last week. Like we talked about before, that's always a big milestone to get done and move ahead. So that's good news. And things are still moving ahead out at Floyd. They're still doing some dirt work. Hopefully they'll be putting down the sub base pretty soon, which is the next step in getting it ready for paving. And that will be the concrete that was the old roadway that if you've been by there, you've seen the huge piles of crushed concrete, and that's what we'll be using for the sub base. So a little recycling in action there.
How about that? Not only recycling, saving a lot of money.
That's exactly right. Do what we can.
That's right. That's right. If you're headed west over towards Cylinder, and that way they got a little road construction still happening there. Because you know why? Because I thought, oh no, we're going to Okoboji, Spirit Lake area this past weekend, and I thought, oh, I better check and see if there's any construction. Not while I was driving.
Of course not.
Yes, I checked out the 511 app that you can download on your mobile unit or mobile phone, like we talk about all the time. And I noticed, Cylinder, and there's a detour, and I'm going, oh no, this is gonna be because we were running close on time to get to where we needed to go.
Okay.
But I forgot you just don't go around the curve, you just go straight, take a left, and it's that stoplight there on the curve coming on the Cylinder and or Emmitsburg.
Yep.
Is that right? Yeah. So you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, kind of. That's just on the very, very, very. Sometimes we help out with projects out there, and this year that is not one of our projects. So, but I am aware that it's happening.
Well, at least I'm glad I could give you an update.
Well, I appreciate it. I would just check 511 and then I'd know what to do.
Right, there you go. That's more reliable than me passing along the information. I'll tell you that.
Well, you got firsthand information this time, so that's an eyewitness report is always the most accurate, right?
There you go. There you go. No, we headed up there because one of my coworker, one of my employees on 103.7 The Fox, Bruce Wasenius, the guy's like 74 years old, and he's been doing radio for, I think he started back in 1974, I think it was.
Wow.
And he was inducted into the Iowa Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this past weekend.
I saw that. That's awesome. Congratulations to Bruce.
Yeah. So, and it was awesome. We were there watching the ceremonies and everything. They call up, talk, give a whole spiel about Bruce. And then they go, hey, Bruce Wasenius. Well, they mispronounce his name.
Oh, no.
How could you mispronounce a Hall of Famer's name?
Yeah, exactly. You think they'd check into that.
Wasenius, I think, is what they call him. It says Wasenius. It was Wasenius.
Okay.
But So they call him out. He doesn't show up. He doesn't come out.
What happened?
Well, he was talking,
Oh,
and he was never called out. So
wait a minute. The DJ late because they were talking too much? No way.
exactly. That would never happen.
Exactly.
But we drove all this way to watch Bruce get inducted and have his speech up there, and a no-show. But he did finally come back out though later
Good
after
deal.
a couple of other things. But
Good deal.
oh, we've got a guy that wants to come back out. Blah blah blah. A couple things that they said, and then out comes Bruce. So it was good to see him.
That's
there
an
on the
awesome
stage.
honor.
Yeah, and that's the third one in the state of Iowa. We're the only station, 103.7, the Fox, our classic rock station, to have 3 DJs inducted into the Iowa Hall of Fame.
Well, that's pretty impressive.
Right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Right? Small town Iowa, we got 3 of them in there.
There's nothing wrong with that. That makes it pretty lucky for everybody who listens in this area.
Yeah, you just don't know what you got here, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah. And then I know that leading up to that whole thing, Harry O, our program director over there on the Fox, he did an interview with, a lot of you know, Randy Chester. Remember the Lose days?
I do.
And going over there and, I remember the teen dances. I never got in there when I was never old enough to drink in there.
I'll bet.
And so Randy Chesterman and Brad Johnson and Bruce and Harry, they all did like a podcast, and Harry posted it on the 1037thefoxrocks.com.
Okay.
Some stories of back in the day, which is actually about an hour long. You can skip through wherever you want to, but
Sure.
it's a good little interview, and they talk about some stories of who was doing what, and what, it talks about the winter dance party and
Sure.
all sorts of different things. So
I may have to check that out.
yeah. So there you go. A little cross promotion, we like to call that in the business, Pete.
I've heard of it before.
Yeah. Oh boy. So and then not only that, then of course that was on Sunday that Hall of Fame thing was going on. Saturday was a big day for college football kickoff.
It was one of the best days of the year.
Yeah. So if you're a Hawkeye fan, you're sweating coming into this weekend because Iowa State won big 42-10 over their opponent. And some are going to go, well, the team wasn't even really that good. Like playing a high school team. And then you got the Hawkeyes winning 7-3. And their offense didn't even score a touchdown or a field goal. No, they
scored a field. Yeah, they got a field goal.
Yeah.
Give them a little credit. Believe me.
Well,
That's all they got.
I was sitting with Hawkeye fans, and they're like, I'm going, you guys are horrible. They go, yeah, our offense sucks.
It was pretty disappointing. I will not even try to hide it. So I don't know what they can change in a week, but something's got to change.
Yeah, because you're a Hawkeye fan, right?
I am.
You are. Well, that's
Yes.
too bad.
Yeah.
Because on the video you can see it. I've got an Iowa State thing on. See,
Yep.
there it is,
Yep.
right there. Let me dance around so you can see it. Loud and proud, right there, baby.
Yep. I think Iowa's actually favored this weekend, which
Like 2.5
really
points or
surprised me.
something.
Yeah, like 2.5 points, which pretty much means it's even.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
Very, very interesting.
if they can't score more than 3 points on offense, it's going to get really ugly really fast.
Now, I will give the Hawkeyes this. They've got a really good defense
And a good punter.
and a good punter.
He gets a lot of practice.
Yes, he sure does. He did last weekend. So we'll see how that happens. The game, of course, is kicked off down at Iowa City this year.
Yes.
So you'll be watching it. Do you go to people's place, or do you like to watch it right at your house?
I usually watch at home.
Do you? By
Yep.
yourself? Nobody bugs you?
No, a lot of times I'll have just a couple friends over, but usually keep it pretty mellow. I'm one of those people who likes to focus on the game, not
Right.
the commercials or whatever.
Right. The adult beverages, like,
Yeah, no, let
Well,
me
different in my
watch the
household.
game. Let me focus.
looks a little different in my household, Pete.
Okay.
I'm either having a few to drink because they're doing so bad, the Vikings,
Sure.
or I'm having a few because they're doing so well. I'm going, yeah, this is great. But that's just me.
At least you got a plan.
Well, I try to every year.
There you go.
I don't know. I think we're going to win this one. It's going to be a winning weekend for Iowa State and the Vikings this weekend.
We'll talk Tuesday. We'll see what we're feeling then.
Okay, so Pete thinks opposite. All right, that's good to go. We should
Pete,
never agree.
Pete hopes opposite. I don't know if I'm willing to pick that yet, but
We did ask people to what their team was, and go Hawks. I got some text messages. We talked about this a little bit earlier here in the hour, Pete, and then also rooting for the Hawkeyes, but their offense is terrible, so I'm not sure how well this is going to go.
I think that sums it up perfectly.
Exactly. For all the Hawkeye fans, they're kind of nervous going into this weekend.
I'm very nervous.
Yeah, this will be the weekend they score 35 points and shut out Iowa State.
We do have a good defense, and that's very, very good because it's going to have to be good.
Yeah. Well, you know what? As long as the Iowa State quarterback's not throwing more receptions to the defense than he is his own receivers, we should be okay.
That's usually a good strategy to have.
All right, Pete, we'll catch up next Tuesday and see how well this game went.
All right, sounds good, Jay.
That's the good stuff.
Here's a few good stories